I have been told multiple times by multiple people that I need to be a therapist, a counselor, someone who gives relationship advice to dudes. And I don't know why people pick me. Obviously, I'm not that good at giving relationship advice. I'm a single dude, 40 years old. Well, a little over 40 years old. Um, I was married for 10 years. I put in my time. I made 2 kids out of it. But I love my mom. She raised me right. She taught me how to respect women. I have respect for all women, and not just my mom. My dad was a douchebag. He beat my mom until I was in about 3rd grade. Then she finally got the balls enough to divorce him. And then she raised me from there on out. So I was raised by a woman. My dad was a shitbag. Every choice I've made in life was to do the opposite of what my dad would do. And that has landed me where I'm at today, which I'm proud to say I am living my best life. I am the happiest that I've ever been. The decade-long marriage, no, that sucked. From the honeymoon on, that sucked. Definitely married to the wrong woman because I rushed into things. She was my high school sweetheart. Everybody else was marrying their high school sweethearts. So I was like, you know what? This next logical step is to marry my high school sweetheart. So I married her, had a couple kids with her. She turned into a psycho. And then 10 years later, that's when my life started. I started seeing what sane women are like. And trust me, when you've been with the wrong woman for 10 years and you finally meet a woman that has her head on straight, holy shit, that's a game changer. So I started my life in 2013. It's been a long time. Respecting women. I think that's where most boys these days fail. Now, I can't speak for them because the way I was raised, but there seems to be an abundance of dudes out there who think they're God's gift to mankind. Well, let me tell you right now, you're not. Even if you are a decent guy, good head on your shoulders, good career, there's like a 95% chance you're still a douchebag. All right, I'm just gonna throw it out there. I'm a fucking douchebag, okay? And for whatever reason, there's guys out there that are worse than me. They'll get on Facebook and they will just randomly send women dick pics. Like she wants to see your junk. She doesn't. That's a horrible way to start a conversation with a woman. Hey, do you want to hang out? You want to get naked together? Hey, you want to fuck? Hey, are you down to fuck? Are you serious, dude? Grow up. Grow a pair. Be respectful. She is not a piece of property for you to just get off in. Okay? She's not. She is a human being who's probably put up with more shit than you have. She probably has kids. She's probably had to deal with douchebag exes like you. And here she is trying to live her life the best she can. And she's got an inbox with 150 dick pics from dudes who just want to get in her pants. Like, when are you going to grow up? It all goes back to respect. When you respect a woman and you show up in her inbox unannounced, at least have the courtesy to introduce yourself. Hey, this is so and so. I got a random friend request from you, or friend suggestion from you, and you can tell her she looks pretty. You can tell her she looks beautiful, but don't be so intrusive and objective, and just don't be aggressive with her. All right, it's such a turnoff, and you will never. I don't know how well it works for you guys. Like, if you ever, do you just like send 50, 75 messages, the same message to so many different people, and expect something to ping back at you? That's not the way this works. No, I'm sorry. Well, I have talked to boys about the whole dick pic sending strategy, and the consensus is that those guys are not ready to have a serious relationship with anybody. They're still in the play around phase, playing games, playing with emotions. They haven't grown up mentally. Are you that person? Are you that boy that hasn't grown up mentally? I mean, it's okay for you to admit it. Most of you are. That's what, 95, 99% of people out there. You haven't grown up. You want to play the game. You want to play the field. Find out how many women you can sleep with. And the problem is that you weren't raised right. And you seem to think that you got a chip on your shoulder and God's gift to women. And you just don't care if they get offended. Because all you're looking for is that one person out of the 50 messages you send to come back and say, hey, that's a nice looking dick. And then that's the one you hone in on. That's crazy. Does that actually happen in real life? Because I can honestly say I have never sent an unsolicited dick pic in my life. I know there's a lot of you who have. It's gross. It's sick. It's disgusting. It's disrespectful. Fucking grow up. Okay, so let's assume, if you're still listening, that you're not one of those guys that just sends your dick to random women on Facebook or Instagram or those other social media platforms. Let's say, for the sake of argument, that you are respectful and you won't send one unless you're asked for one. Kudos to you, buddy. You made it in the top 15% of the 90%. You're doing good. So, you don't send unsolicited dick pics, but you're also having a hard time connecting with a woman. Well, I don't want to say connecting. You're having a hard time conversing with a woman. Finding subject matter, going with the flow, having a good conversation. In your defense, women these days, they send a text, LOL. Well, how do you fucking respond to that? It's hard to hold a conversation with a person that's not good at conversations. But I digress. I don't have all the answers for you, sir. But if you honestly respect this woman and you want to get to know her, I need you to start taking notes. I'm going to tell you how to do it. It's not going to be easy, and you are going to strike out. But the more you do it, the better you get at it. It's not only about strategy, it's more so about confidence. You have to have the confidence within yourself. That's the big thing. You really can't make it with any woman unless you think you can. Because what's the first thing that's going to happen if you're in the mindset going into it that you're going to fail? Well, more than likely you're going to fail. So you need to work on that self-confidence. Build those communication skills. Those same communication skills are going to help you throughout this relationship. Not just at the beginning. That's a lifelong process, is learning how to properly communicate what words to use, what words not to use. And even that, it takes time. But you can't get better at it unless you use these tools properly. And I think there's a big difference in confidence between bad confidence and good confidence. And there's the bad confidence, often referred to as being conceited, where you know that you're sexy, you know that you're hot, you know that you got a big dick, and that's being conceited. You got a good job, you want to brag about shit. No, that's not being confident, that's being conceited. You don't brag, boast. The good kind of confidence is where you know you can hold a conversation. You can pick up where they left off. You can initialize a conversation. And oftentimes that's as easy as saying, good morning, hope you have a good day. But having the confidence over texting is pretty easy. And then the problem that a lot of guys have is maybe they're overweight, bald, acne problem, disabled, obese, morbidly obese. There's a lot of physical factors that can play into a guy's confidence level. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you're going to score a 10 if you're a 3. That's unrealistic. You're going to need to set your goals realistically. And that's often a reality that a lot of people can't grasp. If you're a 7, yeah, you can go after a 7. You can go after a 6. You can go after an 8. But if you need exercise in your life, if you need a dietitian in your life, I think fixing that root cause will drastically increase your confidence level. This is about self-health. You need to feel confident in your body before you can project that confidence to other people. Have you forgotten that basic rule? You can't be happy with someone else in your life if you're not happy in your own life. Let that sink in. You can't be confident outwardly towards other people, towards other women, if you're not confident with your own body. How do you expect to get to the finish line if you can't even get off the starting line? What do you do in that situation? What do you do if your confidence level is at a 0? You're miserable, you're lonely. You'll never get a woman because they just blow you off. There's a reason they're blowing you off. Find out. Don't just get pissed off at them. Don't tell them, well, you're just being selfish and you're just being a bitch. Don't do that shit. There's a reason why she's turned off by you. Don't turn the table. Don't make this out to be her fault. 99% of the times, it's not her fault. Excuse me. Good beer. So, take a moment of self-reflection. Look at yourself in the mirror. What do you want to change? This is the most important step of your life. You're sad, you're lonely, and you're fearful that you'll die alone. I'm going to break the news to you, buddy. If you don't change yourself, become more confident with yourself, become more happy with yourself within your own life, you'll never find it elsewhere. That is a sad reality. So I'm serious. Look in the mirror. What don't you like about yourself? Is it the beer belly? Don't drink so much. Is it your acne? Maybe take some skincare product. I'm sure Google has tons of references for skincare products that will help with acne. Weight, fucking exercise, okay? And if the more you go to a gym, the chances are more likely that you'll build your self-confidence, you'll see that change. Just improving yourself will improve your communication skills, your confidence skills, and before you know it, you're going to be reaching that benchmark. It's not going to happen all at once. You got to set realistic goals for this, though. I mean, if you're 200 pounds overweight, it's not going to happen in a year. You can't lose 200 pounds in a year. But you can set realistic goals. In 5 years, I want to be down to this weight. But you really got to try. Maybe weight's not your issue. What is your issue? Horrible eyesight. You got the beer bottle glasses. Makes your eyes look 3 inches big. What about LASIK? Have you thought about maybe looking into LASIK and seeing if you can fix your vision with that? And maybe if you don't have the nerdy ass glasses, maybe you can strike up a conversation with a woman. I don't know. I'm spitballing here. I'm trying to blanket all these conditions in one short period of time. Okay, so we've tackled quite a bit of material so far. You've managed to increase your confidence, physical appearance, whatever. You're more confident with yourself. Now it's time to start talking to women. You're not sending dick pictures. You are engaging in good conversation with her, responding in a timely manner. Let me ask you this. How many other women are you messaging? If this is a Facebook Messenger or text messaging, how many other women are you entertaining while you're talking to this one woman? That's another big question you have to think about here. Is I don't know your particular situation. Maybe you can't talk to 3 or 4 different women at the same time, and it is just this one particular instance in like 5 or 10 years that you've tried. I'm not bad-mouthing you. I'm just saying. Instances happen. Stuff happens. How many other women are you distracted? Do you have interests elsewhere? Are you single? Do you have a girl that doesn't want you talking to other women? All plays a part in all this. You gotta grow up, dude. You've made it this far. You've worked on your appearance. You've worked on your communication skills. You're finally talking to a woman. Let's not play games with multiple women. Now, it's okay to talk to multiple women as long as you're all on the same page. Like, hey, we're casually dating, or we're not even dating at all. Maybe it's the beginning phases. As long as you're all on the same page and you're not manipulating, as long as you're not playing games, as long as you're not lying. And keep in mind, lying out of omission is still lying. You don't have to tell her the entire truth, but if you're holding back information, that's lying too, my friend. But I digress. Once again, you have built up the confidence level to where now you are talking to a woman, and this woman is actually interested in you. The question is, how do you not fuck this up? Well, I'm glad you asked. Because here's what I would do. I would ask this woman where she wants to go for a date. There's a couple different types of women out there. There's the one who has her guard up on the defense, and she wants it to be a very particular place. She's probably been hurt in the past. and she's got her guard up and she's worried. The worst thing that you could do as a man, quote, man, is to be offensive about it. Like if she says, I really want to go here, maybe the atmosphere is perfect for her. Maybe she feels comfortable in this place. But it might not be your first choice or second choice or third choice. Don't worry, dude. This is a first date. Don't worry. If it's out of your price range, let's save up for it. If it's not out of your price range, let's just let her make the decision, because obviously the women in today's society often get victimized the most. A gentleman will understand this. A man will understand this. If she wants to meet here at a particular day, you make it happen. And if you can't, you have to communicate that. Hey, I work second shift. I can't be there at 7 p.m. So you have to figure out your day off, her day off, in a setting that she feels comfortable in. Because let's face it, nobody cares if you're comfortable or not. I'm sorry, but it's all about her. And a gentleman and a man truly understands this. So first date, where does she want to go? Now, if she doesn't care, then it is good etiquette for you to suggest a place. And I would suggest, before even getting in this conversation with her about first dates, locations, times, etc., you already have an idea of what you want. When you have an idea of what you would like, that's when you engage in this conversation. Sorry, I didn't mention that earlier. I'm just winging this shit. But if she says, I don't care, what do you think we should do? And you can sit there on the other end and you can be like, well, let me think about this. Of course, you already know because you got it in your head. So you can say, well, how about we do this? Let's see, a good first date. Public setting. I guess it depends on if you guys drink. A local bar with a friendly atmosphere, no smoking, that would be a good atmosphere. No live band, too much ambient noise. You definitely want some place where you guys can actually talk and hear each other. Bars with live bands, no. Go-karts, no. Go-karts is fun. Laser tagging is fun, but it's not a good first date idea unless you two agree, hey, yeah, that sounds like fun. But generally speaking, first date is usually sit down, be able to look at each other, be able to talk and have a conversation without trying to bash each other into the guardrail. So who's going to pay for all this? First date, drinks, food. My dude, you're going to pay for it. It's going to be a nice sit-down meal at a quiet restaurant. Well, this is an example, obviously. And you guys have a great time. You're talking. Your confidence level is high. She seems really into you. And if she doesn't seem really into you, maybe you can communicate why. Maybe that should be a conversation for after the date. I don't know. But even if you guys aren't having a good time, it's still proper etiquette for you to pick up the bill. I'm sorry, dude. But especially if you are engaging in this and you are saying, hey, let's go out. Especially if it's your idea. There should be no question. There should be no question. Absolutely no question. Waiter, waitress puts the bill on the end of the table. You're going to grab it. She's going to see you grab it. Boom. Confidence. She knows there's no question. Well, at this point, I've talked to a couple people who... Anyways, you're going to grab this bill. and you're going to pay it. There's going to be no questions asked. If that's a problem for you, you need to reconsider your life. Why can't I afford to pay for this date? You need to be financially responsible. Huge part of the dating environment. You can't expect her to pay for any of it. You might reach an agreement later on. In fact, there might be a situation that comes up where the server puts the bill on the table and she asks you, hey, do you want me to get my half? And that is a key point in your date. If you have any lack of confidence that you can pay for this entire bill, you need to really play your cards right. There's still a way to fix this, all right? You can be kind of sympathetic and be like, well, I really appreciate the offer. Work's been kind of slow, or I'm in between jobs, or heaven forbid, disability benefits have been down. Do you mind paying? And if she asked in the first place, would you like me to get my half? Don't feel bad about saying, yeah, times are kind of slow right now. I appreciate you offering. That would be great. Granted, at this moment in time, she is going to be contemplating any further dates. Now, I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to be absolutely real. A woman who is in the dating field doesn't want a man that can't provide. Especially if it's half of a bill. Let's face it, dude. If you can't pay that entire bill, how are you going to pay for future bills? How are you going to pay your own bills? You need to be financially stable enough to where you can confidently say, yeah, why don't you go ahead and supersize that meal? Or, yeah, get the filet mignon instead of the sirloin. Be that confident. That confidence right there, if you've saved up, she doesn't have to know that you've saved up for a month to be able to afford this date. She doesn't have to know that. If you truly are kind of down on the finances right now, if this is just a slump, if it's just a hurdle that you've hit, you don't have to tell her. But you really should save up your money so that when the time comes, you have the confidence to say, yeah, just get whatever you want. I got it. That's going to go a long way in the future of this relationship. Unless, of course, you are truly incapable of paying for her bill with your bill. And then you're going to have a conversation after dinner, after the date. And you're going to have to tell her, hey, look, I've been saving up for a while. I'm not exactly in the best position financially right now. And I don't know how she's going to take it. I mean, she could be extremely understanding, and that's good for you. But most women are looking for a financially stable man to be in their lives. And if you can't be that person, it's going to really turn them off for the next date. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to pick up the bill and just not bring it up at all. I mean, afterwards, oh boy, this is going to be a sensitive topic. Sex. You guys have had a great date. You've paid for the meal. And you go back to your place, maybe, to her place, whatever, and she's not comfortable engaging in intimacy with you. That could kill a guy's confidence, and it could put him in such a mood instantaneously on the defense, and all of a sudden, the rage comes out. Don't be that guy. So anyways, it's about time for me to wrap this up. You haven't sent any dick pics yet. That's good. You've engaged in a good conversation. You've thought about your responses before you send them. And you have responded in a timely fashion. You've engaged her interest. You've listened to her. You've taken down notes. You've found out what she likes. And now she wants to meet. You guys have your first date. You have paid for it all because you're financially responsible. You've maintained eye contact. You've stayed off your fucking phone. And things seem to be going well. You guys haven't talked about sex yet. You will not bring it up. You will not talk about it. In fact, I want you to let her ask about it. Don't even hint on the subject until she kind of flirts with you a little bit. Maybe it's an innocent flirt. She's testing out the waters. You do not need to go in that territory unless she goes into the territory first. That is the best relationship advice I can give you towards a first date. No dick pics. Good conversation. Pay for the first date. Let her talk about sex first. And if she doesn't, don't ask her. Please, don't ask her. I'll give you some free advice here. If she says, hey, let's go back to my place for some drinks. Or, hey, let's go back to my place because I got some magazines I want to show you. In case you guys don't drink. Hey, let's go back to my place because I got this really cool train set. Of course, I don't know any woman that has a really cool train set. But anyways, there's gonna be signs. There's gonna be hints that she's interested. It doesn't mean you have to be like, oh, you want to fuck? Don't. Do not. She has to be the one to make the first move in this. Otherwise, you're going to blow it. You're going to blow it, dude. If sex is the only thing on your mind, you shouldn't have even gone on this date. You should have went to, I don't know, I'm sure there's sites out there specifically for finding people to hook up with. I don't know what they are because I don't fucking do that. I do this the right way because I want to find a life partner. All right? So I'm going to leave you at that. And if you guys are interested, maybe I'll talk more about this. I got a lot more on my mind, a lot more tips, a lot more tricks for confidence boosters, for conversation starters, date ideas. I got it all. But I'm not going to keep doing this unless I get some feedback. So let me know.